You are welcome to Nana's Tarot and Oracles. I am the Nana, and Nana loves you. You have a home here for comfort and contemplation, hope and inspiration, rest, renewal, and relaxation. Your readings will empower you to use your intuition to help you towards a better life. All readings are dedicated to truth and light, but cannot take the place of professional services of any kind. Readings are general for the collective, and if they do not sound right to you, they may not be for you today. Come back and try another day. If you like what you're hearing, please select the like button below and subscribe with all notifications. It's free. Share with your friends or family. If you have a question or a comment, I will try to answer it below. You are important to Nana, and I am always glad to have the opportunity to speak with you again. I was completely amazed the other day when I pulled out so many Major Arcana cards, and I shuffled all my cards very thoroughly, and then as I was sitting down here today, I was called to pull the top card off my tarot deck. And when I went to pick it up, I picked up two cards, and look at the two cards that I picked up. We have the World. The World is the last card in the Major Arcana, and is indicative of the end of a cycle, and that's certainly what today represents as well. Today is the new moon, the end of one lunar cycle and the beginning of another. And then the Star card, number 17 of the Major Arcana, the one that follows the Tower card, and is the card of hope and optimism. I would remind you that the Dalai Lama says, choose to be optimistic. It feels better. And in fact it does. But I also think that to some extent we all create our reality through our expectations. And hope is a wonderful expectation to have. So just some things to think about right out of the gate. Again, where I was marveling at the number of Major Arcana cards that came out last time after I had shuffled the cards quite thoroughly and shuffled them thoroughly again, and then here they came out again. Now, this is funny because I'm shuffling and a card falls out, volunteers, and it's another Major Arcana card. The Lovers, number 6. Number 6, the number of balance and harmony. The Lovers, which is the Gemini card, and is a card of duality and choice, and also to some degree of angelic protection. And the Archangel Raphael, who is the angel of healing. And we've been talking a lot about healing lately. All right, let's put that one back in the deck. And let's do a little more shuffling and see if we have some more jumps. And we do. We have the Chariot, number 7 of the Major Arcana. And then we have the King of Wands, the Ten of Wands, and the Nine of Wands. So finally we have been able to find, and there's the Seven of Wands in reverse. We've been able to find some cards that are not Major Arcana. that will volunteer to come out and see us. Okay. Let's give that one more try. And no jumpers now. Today is July the 14th, and it is the day of the new moon in Cancer. And the new moon in Cancer perfected at 5:43 a.m. this morning, Eastern Daylight Time, in Cancer, which is the water sign of the mother, family, and home. Dr. Michael Lennox, who is at michaellennox.com, has typically puts out a written report about the lunations, and he says the moon is the luminary of the unconscious, the coming together of awareness, sun, and the direct access to the unconscious, moon, has such deep access to the fertile soil of creativity in every new moon by shining the sun's light into spaces below awareness. You may remember that in the last video of energy healing, we were discussing the sacral chakra, which is the chakra of creativity. Dr. Lennox goes on to say this is a perfect setup for Cancer to rise into its fullest expression of caring and nurturing. But Mother, the Divine Mother, will also demand the most of you. She drives our hero with motivations handed down generation after generation and imprinted upon us in our family of origin. We have been conscripted into the army of the revolution to usher in the promise of the age of Aquarius, a unified world where all people are cared for. We've been through basic training, and this is the last moment at home before going into battle. The dawning of the age of Aquarius. I think that calls for pulling some oracle cards. Here's our Inner Temple Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. And let's just shuffle these. I felt like this card wanted to come out. The Chamber of Healing. This again is a repeater. I think we are getting repeaters because, again, with the Chiron transit, we have a lot of emphasis now on healing, and that is one of the reasons why I am presenting the videos about energy healing. Let's see what Rebecca Campbell has to say about the Chamber of Healing. Here is the text if you would like to stop the video and read it for yourself. Healing is always happening. For to heal is to change, and you're always changing, always returning to wholeness. Wholeness isn't a static state, as we're always growing and transforming. It's nature's way, and you're part of nature. When this card appears, it's acknowledging that you're in a deeper stage of healing, and it's okay to ask for help and slow down to let healing happen. This card comes with a tender message to trust your innate ability to heal through the changing seasons of your life, to stop seeing yourself as broken, or to think of healing as something you need to do before you truly live. For to heal is to change, evolve, and grow. You can read the rest of that if you would like. I would encourage you in your pursuit of energy healing to consider the use of affirmations. And one of my favorite affirmations for healing is, I am healed, I am well, I am whole. You can repeat this as you meditate. So that is something for all of us to think about during this new moon today. Now let's have a talisman oracle card. And our talisman oracle card today is willpower. Now, I find this interesting. This is a repeater. We've been getting this a lot lately. And I have personally been finding that my willpower has been challenged lately in terms of finding my discipline and regulation of my fitness and dietary habits. But also because in our last healing energy video, we touched on the solar plexus chakra, which is the chakra of the will. So let's see what we have about willpower in the text. Here is the text, if you would like to stop the video and read it for yourself. And it says, in a reading, it's time to channel your willpower through fierce dedication. You have set your objectives, and by applying discipline, commitment, and courage, you will achieve your goals. At times, your target may seem too far away, or people might try to convince you to adjust your expectations, but you alone know that what you hold within. Stay confident in your abilities and focus on the next step in front of you. The dominant presence of the bull is helping you through the tests of your strength and resilience. The victory is within reach. Talisman power. Use this card to strengthen your willpower. Sometimes stress and unpleasant circumstances can drain our energy, and in those moments we need a little help to see our inner power. Withdraw to a quiet and personal space and focus on the bull on this card. The crown hangs heavy and yet majestic. Whisper your goal out loud and stay strong. Your affirmation is, I persevere. And I do. Well, let's pull a significator card. Now that I'm through playing with shuffling cards, I think this card wants to come out. And here is the Sun, another major arcana card, number 19. And the Sun is what the moon is in opposition to when it is a new moon, the dark of the moon. So this is the opposite, and certainly here today it's quite bright and sunny and hot, and it's supposed to be extremely hot over much of the nation today and tomorrow. Do stay cool. And on the bottom of the deck we have the Nine of Swords. And the Nine of Swords, the swords are the air signs. That's Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And these are the signs of mental function and communication, clarity and truth. And the 9 is a number of nearing completion. And when we are nearing completion, quite often that is a time of anxiety, and the Nine of Swords is considered to be a card about being all up in your head and worried about things. Is that you? Are you worried about things? Try to meditate and relax and say your affirmations and trust that after a long night of worrying about things, every morning, isn't it amazing? The sun will come up. And here's one that jumped out earlier, the King of Wands. Wands are the fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. The King of Wands is the highest expression of the qualities of the wands, which are passion, inspiration, leadership, creativity. And I think a fire sign king goes very well with the sun. And I looked, and on the bottom we also have the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is a fine counterbalance for the King of Wands, and a fine card to come forward on this day of the new moon in Cancer, because she is the minor arcana card of Cancer. Cancer being the water signs being Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. And the qualities of the water signs having to do with feelings and emotions and spirituality. Some people say that she's holding the Ace of Cups, and that the Ace of Cups is the Grail. A fine counterpoint for the fire and air cards we have in there. And I looked, and here's another major arcana card. Number 8, the Strength card. The Strength card is the card of Leo. So it is another fire card. I think this is very interesting, again, considering what's going on right now. All right. I'm going to quit looking. Let's have a rune. Our rune for today is Gifu, gift, sharing, or offering. And I'm interested to see all of the yellows and reds and oranges that go along so well with the colors of these fire cards. And I also got out the Goddess Love Oracle. In honor of the Mother. And let's see what we get from the Goddess Love. Lakshmi. Lakshmi is the goddess of flow. Let goddess blessings enrich your life with gifts of fire, air, and water. Let's see what the guidebook has to say about number 11. Here is the text if you want to stop the video to read it. And I find this interesting because the other day we were talking about the Indian Jyotisha Vedic system of astrology. And Lakshmi and flow goes along with that. And the Punarvasu, the return of the light period that we spoke of. Lakshmi comes into your life to tell you that there is enough. She is a goddess of spiritual and material prosperity and wealth. She may be here for you now because you are feeling a sense of lack. Perhaps you fear a lack of love, happiness, money, or time. That Nine of Swords, is that you being fearful? Whatever it is, Lakshmi is here to tell you that there is an abundance of all that you can possibly need. She is depicted with 4 arms representing the 4 goals of human life: Dharma, Kama, Artha, and Moksha. We talked about this the other day too, and the different elements of the signs and which ones relate to which. The synchronicity here is stunning. There is a goddess-inspired daily practice here. Dedicate time to getting into nature, and that, to my mind, falls into grounding and rooting. And I would say also that when we're talking about material blessings and prosperity, we're talking about grounding, we're talking about earth signs, we're talking about Taurus and Virgo and Capricorn. And isn't it interesting here that we've got fire, air, and water, and this card I think would represent earth. Also, willpower, the bull, that reminds me of Taurus as well. Okay, and let's have a hexagram from I Ching, the Book of Changes. And I think that card wants to come out. And that card is number 1. Number 1 is the first card of the hexagrams. Let's see what Venabelle Wynn has to say about that. I know it is Yang. The other day, the card we received was Yin. And so, here, hexagram number 1, Qian, creative power. And now we are back to the sacral chakra and creativity. Here is the oracle, heaven's blessing. Let goddess blessing, heaven's blessing. The creative power awakens a dragon. What had been hidden is now ascending. Take pause before you proceed on your endeavor. Be assured of your course of action before you proceed. Know who you are. Know where you came from. Be humble and modest. Be above reproach. Then those who seek to harm will be rendered harmless. You will become the dragon that emerges from the depths, visible and rising above your peers. A pillar of beneficent astral light guides your movements. You face a moment of choice, the temporal or the spiritual. Endurance and patience will be required of you, as what is to unfold shall do so for a prolonged length of time. We are beginning a new era. Wow, another amazing reading today. I am so grateful for the inspiration to bring you these readings. Thank you for tuning in to Nana's Tarot and Oracles today. You make Nana's day. Nana loves you and hopes you leave a question or a comment below. Select the like button, subscribe, and select all notifications. It's free. I will see you again soon in peace and love. Thank you, thank you, thank you.